पंजाब केसरी नवोदय टाइम्स में आज की हमारी खास मेहमान है द ब्यूटीफुल एंड टैलेंटेड बरखा बिश, जो हाल ही में दुरंगा सीजन 2 में नजर आई हैं। तो इसके अलावा उनके फ्यूचर प्लान्स, उनकी पास्ट की जर्नी एंड एक्सपीरियंसेस के बारे में ढेर सारी बातें हम करेंगे बरखा से। पर सबसे पहले बरखा, बहुत बहुत स्वागत हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे।
Thank you so much.
सो टेल मी, किस तरह का रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है सीरीज का?
गॉड रिस्पॉन्स अभी तक तो बहुत अच्छा आ रहा है। आई थिंक पीपल वो वेटिंग फॉर सीजन 2, क्योंकि सीजन 1 हमने जहां पर खत्म किया था, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन मार्क्स से लोगों के दिमाग में कि हु इज द किलर, हु इज द मर्डरर, प्राची है या उसका भाई है या कोई और है। बट आई थिंक वो एंड जो सीजन 1 हमारा हुआ विद अमित साथ वेकिंग अप, आई थिंक दैट वाज अ ह्यूज टर्निंग पॉइंट। सो आई थिंक लोगों का वैसे भी बहुत वो था कि सीजन 2 में क्या होगा। सो रिस्पॉन्स इज ग्रेट सो फार।
कोई टॉप कमेंट, कॉम्प्लीमेंट याद आ रहा हो आपको, जो फिजिकली किसी ने मिलके कहा हो या फिर आपको मैसेज किया हो सोशल मीडिया पे?
You know, the one thing that I am getting collectively from everybody is that um, about my character, क्योंकि ये कैरेक्टर जो है मेरा बहुत ही डी ग्लैम कैरेक्टर है। I'm hardly wearing any makeup, and you know, even my outfits, my styling is so simple that people are actually appreciating that, because you know I am always associated with Barkha as hot and she's fit and she's whatever. So I'm really liking the fact that people are appreciating कि बहुत ही simple character है, and I'm loving the fact that I got to play a character like that. So they are looking at me in a very different way now. You know कि less makeup, de-glam role, de-glam role. And I think जब ऐसा होता है ना, people focus more on your acting
करेक्ट।
because you're not really looking very good, but then they were like, okay, you know, perform कैसा कर रही है. So that is something that a lot of people have told me, that we're actually noticing your performance because you know you're such a de-glam avatar जो है. So I think that is the best compliment I've got.
राइट, बट हाउ इज बरखा इन रियल लाइफ? बरखा इज द वर्जन ऑफ जो एक इमेज लोगों ने बना ली है, बरखा इज हॉट, बरखा इज ग्लैमरस, और बरखा इज मे बी अ लिटिल मोर क्लोजर टू प्राची।
I would say I'm a balance of both actually, because I personally feel कि as an actor मेरा ये advantage है that I can look glamorous and I can look completely the opposite, because मैं personally मानती हूँ ना तो मैं बहुत सुंदर हूँ और ना ही hot हूँ, but लग सकती हूँ और नहीं भी लग सकती हूँ. So I think personally, I'm a balance of both, and I think that is my biggest advantage as an actor, because I think I can fit into a lot of characters, you know, because of my looks. So yeah.
बट यू नो द ऑडियंस हु बीन फॉलोइंग यू एवर सिंस आपकी जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई है टीवी से 2004 2005 में, आज 2023 के ऊपर हम बात कर रहे हैं, जहां आपने टीवी कर लिया है, आपने फिल्में कर ली हैं, आपने वेब सीरीज कर ली हैं। डेफिनेटली वो आपको सोशल मीडिया में फॉलो करते हैं, आपके काम को फॉलो करते हैं, बट वो यू नो ऑफ द शूट, नो शूट डे वाली बरखा को जानना चाहेंगे। तो वो बरखा कौन है विद बन एंड हेयर टाइड? हाउ डू यू
So
स्पेंड योर
I
नो
think
शूट डे?
जो लोग मुझे इंस्टा पे फॉलो करते हैं would probably see, because a lot of my life is on Insta and a lot of my life is about me and my daughter. So yes, when I'm not shooting on an off day, yes, my hair is just tied up because 10,000 चीजें करनी होती हैं, and when you have a child, especially one who's 12, so it's that year, you know, teenage years शुरू हो रहे हैं, very demanding. So when I'm not working, I'm working even more, क्योंकि घर पे मुझे लगता है मैं ज्यादा शूट पे जाकर फिर भी मैं रिलैक्स करती हूँ. तो इट्स ऑपोजिट फॉर मी नाउ कि लोग काम पे वर्क करके घर पे रिलैक्स करते हैं, मैं काम पे रिलैक्स करती हूँ. एट होम आई एम वर्किंग लाइक ऑल द टाइम. So
राइट।
that is a real me. I'm just with my daughter, taking care of her, taking care of the house, and just that, yeah.
ओके, कमिंग बैक टू योर सीरीज, सीजन 1 को भी बहुत प्यार मिला, बहुत अप्रिशिएट किया गया, विच इज व्हाई वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सीजन 2। तो डिड यू फील दैट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि यार अभी ऑडियंस की एक एक्सपेक्टेशन बढ़ गई है, विद द काइंड ऑफ कंटेंट जो आपने दिखा दिया है, वो एक थ्रिल का एलिमेंट जो आप लोगों ने प्रेजेंट कर लिया है? सो कमिंग बैक टू सीजन 2, एक ऐसा प्रेशर फील हुआ था दैट टू लिव अप टू दैट काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशन, और यू वर लाइक वी नो इट्स अ गुड कंटेंट, फिर और लोग पसंद करेंगे?
No, see, I think I always knew it was a good content, or you know, the technical. हमारी टीम इतनी अच्छी थी, तो मुझसे ज्यादा तो मेरा तो प्रेशर नहीं था. आई थिंक एवरीथिंग वाज लाइक अमित साथ और गुलशन देवैया के कंधों पर. आई वाज लाइक, because they are such fantastic actors, so I knew that we have a good team. And I think जब आपकी team अच्छी हो, it just automatically happens that you create good content. Then it is up to the audience whether they like it or not. So I don't think I felt that pressure. I knew we had done good in season one, and I knew we were going to do better because obviously Amit Sat then added on to season two. So I think that all of us together, I think we created something nice.
Right. But how did it happen? Show कैसे आपके पास आया? How did your character Prachi happen?
So actually, when I was called and said that there is a series that we're doing, and it is a remake of a Korean show, and I was like a huge Korean show fan. I watched like a lot of K drama and everything, but of course this was a thriller. So I was like, okay, though I didn't see the original show because once I decided that I'm going to do this show, मैंने डिसाइड किया मैं ओरिजिनल शो नहीं देखूंगी क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं वो एक कैरेक्टर इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाता है.
Correct.
And I didn't want to do that. But yeah, I just got a call and everything, the usual process. You go, you do a look test, you get selected, and that's how it happened for me.
Right. And was there a specific way that you prepped for your role, Prachi? आपको of course script में जो बताया गया होगा ये ऐसी character है. उसके अलावा did you kind of do your own prep? Are you one of those actors जो एक character के back story के ऊपर जाते हैं और उसको और develop करते हैं?
The backstory, it's always good to know कि क्या backstory है इस character की, which was given to us in advance, obviously. But yeah, no, I'm not one of those actors जो बहुत उसके अंदर घुस जाते हैं. I'm somebody who trusts my director. I'm a director's actor. I will pretty much do what my director tells me to do because I believe कि हर किसी का एक अलग perception होता है character को लेकर, The producer will have a different outlook, the director will have a different one, actors will look at it differently, your co-actors could have a different outlook कि नहीं आप ये scene ऐसे नहीं ऐसे करो. So it becomes like too many minds that think. So it is safer to go by one person because the director is the captain of the ship. So it is very important for me to focus on one person and listen to that person and then do it in the best way possible. So मेरा normally ऐसा ही होता है. But of course, like I said, season one, I had scenes with Gulshan more than anybody else. And I think Gulshan say it's learning a lot from him, because I really think he's one of the finest actors we have. I watch all his shows. And when I got to know that I'm going to be, playing his sister and, working with him, I was like, that was the pressure for me, ki, oh my God, I'm working with such a good actor. Because what happens is ki aap अच्छे actor हो, kind of, but when you're working with a very good actor, तो आपके flaws ज़्यादा highlight होते हैं. So there was a lot of pressure that, oh my God, I have scenes with Gulshan. And then, of course, in season 2, it was Amit Sar, who again is a brilliant actor.
Right.
So मेरा pressure, I think, was more about the people that I'm working with, and to try and match up to their level. जो नहीं हुआ, I think मुझे और बहुत seasons करने पड़ेंगे to match up with their level. But that was more my pressure. But otherwise, I'm more spontaneous as an actor. मैं set पर जाकर, I just observe the vibe of the day, how everybody's feeling, how everybody's reacting. I like to do it more spontaneously. I think ज़्यादा सोच कर जाओ तो मुझसे तो नहीं होता है. I can't do too much homework. I was never good in studies, never did homework. So I don't like to do my homework for any character. I trust the director, and whatever brief they give me, of course I will think about that and everything. And I'm also somebody who believes that the look of a character is very important. Agar aapka look sahi hai, I think half your battle is won. So that is something that I do, but I'm not somebody who will study a lot about the characters. I just go and do my part.
So you're very spontaneous and you like to go with the flow. Right.
Yeah, because sometimes क्या होता है कि आप किसी को एक्टर के साथ जब वो सामने वाला कुछ करता है, then आपके दिमाग में जो reaction है, it's not matching with what that person has done. So you have to match the vibe of your co-star. So ज़्यादा होमवर्क करने का मुझे लगता है फायदा नहीं है, because what if your co-star does something and you want to react to that? Then that will be a different reaction जो मैंने सोचा था, लेकिन ये तो कुछ और हो रहा है, तो that it becomes very confusing. So I go by the day. कि अच्छा, this is how this person is doing it, I'm going to respond to that. So yeah.
Right. अच्छा, जब हम thriller series as an audience देखते हैं, so we are very invested in it कि ऐसा हुआ, अब ऐसा होगा, और अब हम भी as a director अपना दिमाग लगाने लगते हैं कि ये होगा, we start getting to conclusions. But as actors जो कि उस project में involved रहते हैं, जिनको script शुरू से लेके आखिर तक पता है, it's who done it, आपको मालूम है वो, but your character cannot reveal it क्योंकि वो layer by layer आगे जाना है as per the story. हाउ एक्साइटिंग इज इट टू प्ले, कि आपको पता है एंड में क्या होना है, बट आपको भी ऑडियंस के साथ 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 यू हैव टू टर्न द पेजेस.
Honestly, हमारे लिए बिल्कुल exciting नहीं होता because we already know what's going to happen, right? But yeah, the tricky part is कि acting करते समय we should not reveal,
हाँ.
because कभी ऐसा होता है ना, like when I see a thriller show, मैं कभी किसी एक्टर को देखकर बोलती हूँ कि यही होगा, या ये नहीं हो सकता, ये जो ज्यादा दिखा रहा है मतलब ये नहीं है. So that becomes a tricky thing in thrillers because people are guessing all the time.
Exactly.
Who's done it and why, how, whatever. So you have to play in a way कि audience भी सोचे कि ये हो भी सकती है, नहीं भी हो सकती है. कि वो definite नहीं होना चाहिए कि ये definitely है या definitely नहीं है. That becomes a tricky part, but it's not exciting because we know what's going to happen. Like we know what the thing is. So yeah, I think it's exciting for the audience, but we
No, but
have to
exciting
be
for you as an actor too. आपको पता है क्या होना है, बट आपको दिखाना नहीं है, आपको
right.
as the episodes are going, you have to go according to
हाँ,
the
तो वो
script.
exciting नहीं होता, that is performance pressure. Don't do too much, don't do whatever, leave the audience guessing. So वो
Right.
थोड़ा performance pressure होता है, but yeah.
So you have a beautiful ensemble cast in this, ना कमाल के actors हैं इसमें. How was the experience? Were you all feeding off each other's energies and talent, या क्या था?
I was definitely doing that. Definitely. I think that is the only way I have survived on the show. And I come from a massively television background. I'm very new to OTT. I mean, I've done a few shows now, but massively I'm, from a television background, including Drashti. So me and Drashti were two people who are from a television background. And then we're working with Gulshan Devaya and Amit Sat. I mean, of course, Amit has also done TV a long time back, but these guys have evolved so much as actors. So now we're working with those people. So I think it was actually a very good mix where I don't know about Drashti. I'm sure she will feel the same. We have a certain way of acting in television because that is a demand of the medium. OTT demands something totally the opposite. We have to be, more understated, more natural, more let the audience keep guessing kind of a thing. So it always becomes a little, I wouldn't say difficult, but challenging to switch over. Though I haven't done TV for quite a few years, but my whole, the background of my acting started with television.
Right.
So in the process with each show, I'm unlearning a lot of things. And thankfully, when you have co-stars like Amit or, Gulshan, it becomes easier. Say, okay, I need to unlearn and learn what? Then you have somebody you know what to learn. Right. So that's how it was. But otherwise, it was great. I think me and Rashti, we were working together for the first time. We got along like a house on fire. We would be like in between our shots, and I have very few scenes with her, but we would always be chatting and talking about food and things like that. So yeah, it was great. It was like we were all friends. Gulshan I have worked with in Ram Leela earlier. Amit Sat I know, like I socially know him. So like nobody was a stranger to each other, but it was nice. Like the guy who plays my boyfriend Abhijit, I think he's the only one that I didn't know. He's come from the Marathi industry, so I don't know him. But he too, I think we all just kind of, I remember, and our director Rohan sir is very fond of eating, extremely fond of eating. So every day at lunchtime we would be like, "Aaj kya order karna hai?" Okay. It was that, कि अच्छा shooting तो हो रही है, but what are we eating today? So lunch was like a massive thing where we would all sit together and we would like be eating and everything. So it was really, really nice. The vibe was really good.
So with a career spanning almost 2 decades, तब से लेके आज तक you've been in most of the platforms, बहुत सारा काम आपने किया है, but looking back, how much do you see a change? Of course, industry में तो बहुत आ गया है, audience के the way we consume content पे आ गया, but as Barkha, as an actor, as a performer, how much change do you see?
Oh my God, there's a huge change, a huge change. See, like I said, I've come from television, right? So television to OTT or television to films is a huge change any which ways, okay? And each medium is evolving over a process of time. So today, if I had to go back to television, I'm assuming it would be slightly different than what it was. But yes, I think in general, the industry is moving towards more organic stuff, So there will be, there are still films, there will be a Jawan and there will be a Tiger, which is an out and out commercial, over the top, performances, films, the grandeur and everything, which is something that we need, right? That's what stars are made of. But I think overall, the whole industry, I think, is moving towards more organic stuff, be it content, be it your writing, be it performances, shot taking, camera work. I think everything is evolving into being more organic, being
Right.
more relatable and more real. So, yeah.
So in this relatable real space, what are the kind of roles that you are actually very very hungry for? कि
You
आप
know,
चाहते हो
I
आपको वो ऑफर हो और आप मतलब सोचोगे नहीं हाँ करने पे?
I think the OTT specifically, because that's what I'm focusing on. There is no role that I can say मैं ये करना चाहती हूँ, because everything is different. All characters, all shows, there is so much variety coming from television where I was stuck to the Bahu, you know. So in different shows, different characters, I was playing the same character actually. OTT is like right now, I don't even know that, hey, this is something I would want to do, because it is actually happening. Everything is happening. So, like I have done this totally de-glam role in Duranga. I played this, diva Pakistani singer in Mukhbir, in which it's all about how beautiful I look and how graceful I am. So, and I've done these shows like back to back. So I'm like, there I am playing this really beautiful, elegant character. Here I am playing like this makeup artist who doesn't even bother about how she's looking. I anyways feeling I'm getting the opportunity to do various roles. So I don't think I have any specific thing. Oh yeah, I do actually. One thing I would love to do, I want to do like an action thing, like play a raw agent or something like
Okay.
that, or army, or special forces or something like that. That is one thing I would really like to do, because I come from an army background, and I'm so much into fitness and everything. That is the one thing I think I haven't done. So I would love to explore that, like a hardcore action character who's just somebody, whatever, just like an agent and on a
Right.
mission, things
Right,
like
right,
that.
right. So
So
amen to
yeah,
that, ऐसा हो जाए, ऐसा रोल और अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको मिले. But
I hope.
जाते जाते, what is the one thing you would like to say to people who've been following your work and liking your work?
I just want to say, like you mentioned, I've been in the industry for about 2 decades. Okay. I do believe that people who survive that long are doing something right. So I'm just really grateful to my audiences for making my actions seem right. So I just want to say thank you for all the support. And, people who have been following me, I'm really, really grateful to them. And I just hope that I continue to do work that makes them follow my career path, here on. So, yeah.
राइट, सो विशिंग यू ऑल द लक. एंड हम यही चाहते हैं कि ऐसी ही बरखा आप पे आपके काम की होती रहे और अप्रिसिएशन लोगों का आपको मिलते रहे. एंड थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम फॉर दिस इंटरव्यू, बरखा.
Thank you. Bye bye.
बाय बाय.